Okay, we good? All aboard who's coming aboard!
It's good fun that we got 2 new zombie games around Easter, because Easter is the celebration of zombies. Like, you're celebrating someone coming back from the dead, zombie Jesus. One of these games, Days Gone, had very high hopes and maybe a little underwhelming in execution, whereas we have World War Z that looked a bit crap, but it's actually quite good fun. If you haven't read the World War Z book by Max Brooks, it's really good. And then obviously there was a film with Brad Pitt, and kind of like the film, the game doesn't really have much to do with the novel other than trotting around the world a bit and zombies. It's kind of it. So what you've got here is a kind of squad-based, class-based shooter with zombies. If that sounds familiar, you, my friend, have played Left 4 Dead. And that's kind of what this is. This is Left 4 Dead. Saber Interactive obviously thought, well, no one else is making Left 4 Dead 3, so we should make it. And what you're really doing here is there's no kind of overarching single-player campaign. Each little episode takes place in a different city, and you have a band of 4 different survivors. So you don't really get attached to anyone as you go through the game, because, every couple of hours or so you've got new people. And you're generally, going around doing anti-zombie things, killing zombies, running from zombies, setting traps for zombies, things that are antisocial if you are a zombie. And there's also a multiplayer mode with a selection of multiplayer modes that you'll be familiar with, Deathmatch, King of the Hill, Domination, that sort of thing. But in each one, not only do you get your familiar deathmatch mode or whatever, but it's got zombies in it, lots of zombies. That is World War Z's main thing that it does very well as well. Not just one zombie, not just 2 zombies, like loads of zombies everywhere. Yeah, swarms of zombies are the thing here. This is not Resident Evil 2, where it's kind of a tense survival horror shoot-off between you and one zombie lurching towards you. The hook here is quantity over quality, but it really works. There's something really base-level fun about just mowing down hordes and hordes of zombies at once. The game's quite generous in handing out heavy weapons like rocket launchers, machine guns, static machine guns, grenades, so forth. And the zombies do that thing they do in the film where they all pile on top of each other to get up to higher ledges and stuff, and you can just blow out the bottom and they all fall down. It's great. And the game kind of knows this is its best trick, so it doesn't outstay its welcome. You can get through the whole thing in, a matter of, 8 hours, something like that, probably even less, to be honest. You can pick any mission you want from the start and just go into it. There's no kind of progressing difficulty or anything. And the appeal here comes from replaying, building up your character, getting new perks, adding to your weapon ranking and stuff. And there's not a huge amount to the game other than lots of zombies and you taking them down. The gameplay loop is basically start in a new area, walk around a bit, kill a few zombies here and there, and then, there's a set piece with lots and lots and lots of zombies, and then you've got to find a switch sometimes, and then you move on and repeat, so on. But I never got bored of it. Now, you do all this with your squad, and the game does have a few mechanics to force you into teamwork, which mostly works. Sometimes it can be quite annoying. There are different types of zombie. Obviously, you've got your standard shambly zombie. We're all familiar. You've also got the kind of tank zombie. I think they're called a bull in this, which is kind of a really big lad, just all brute power, rah rah rah. There's ones that emit gas when you kill them, so you have to leave a little quarantine zone around them. There's ones that leap out at you from nowhere. They're the creepers, I believe. And there's ones that shout to bring more zombies, make lots of noise, attract other zombies until you kill them. So yeah, it's very Left 4 Dead in that respect. Some of these special zombies, when they grab hold of you, that is pretty much it until you get rescued by a teammate. Like the bull, for example, the big lad. He's a zombie in riot gear for some reason. And he will just come along, grab you, and repeatedly throw you into the floor until you die. It takes quite a while, but if you've gone wandering off on your own, for example, and then you encounter one of these bad boys, then you're pretty much done unless your teammates get a scamper on and come and save you. Which would be alright, except communication in World War Z is quite limited. I only ever came across one person using a headset, and they were using it to teach their kid how to play the game, and it was kind of funny, but it wasn't very helpful for the squad. And the dialogue options on the D-pad that you get are quite limited as well, so it's hard to communicate really. So it's hard to say, let's go over here, I think there's some shit down here. You just go on your own, and then you get in trouble, basically. What's also quite limited, and I would like to have seen more of, is the placement of traps in the kind of tower defense part of the game. When you get to these big set pieces, where there's loads and loads of zombies and they're all climbing over each other and falling off ledges and stuff to get to you, you can find traps around the environment and set them, like electric grids, defense turrets, that kind of thing. But you can only put them in very limited places. You can't just put them wherever you want of your own free will. It's kind of a shame, because you could have a lot more fun with tactics if you could do that, other than just being like, you have to put this defense here. And the presentation of World War Z is okay. It looks a little dated. It looks a bit early PS4, maybe PS3 era-ish graphically. But it is doing a lot at once though. Those swarms don't animate themselves, do they? But it all does look a little basic. And what's worse than that, because you can get past the visuals, because really you're just there to shoot things. But what's worse than that is the voice acting, which is fucking horrendous. They must have spent all the money on just all the zombies, because it's so weird that from a very sort of like sincere and gritty book, and also a film that took itself very seriously, you have this really hammy, corny voice acting. I don't know where the direction came from on that, but it's just terrible. It's also not the smoothest experience ever. Like, it can get a bit framey when there's a lot happening on screen, you'd expect that. But when you're getting kicked out of games regularly, just through system errors, and having some hard crashes back to the main menu as well, that's making it difficult to progress. I had one experience of going through this whole episode, getting right to the end with these really difficult teammates, and then as I completed the level, it crashed and kicked me right back to the PlayStation start menu. But despite that, World War Z is fun. It's more fun than I thought it would be, and it's got one trick, which is take down lots of zombies at once, but it works. I had a great time with it. There's bits lacking it could have developed on more, and it's a little bit ropey and crashy at times, which is obviously, that's going to put a dent in the score somewhat. For a very simple, straightforward blast, World War Z is pretty good. It's retailing at about 35 quid new, which I think seems about right. So I'm throwing a 6.5 on this here World War Z/Z. If you'd like to read more about World War Z, check out my written review at nextgenbase.com. Other than that, you know, like and subscribe, all of those things, you know how these things work. And thanks for watching. Cheers, bye.